Some news stories from Ethiopia. Firstly, we have some numbers for you regarding ongoing higher education entrance exam. Did Amhara region students perform poorly because of the war which happened in Amhara region last year? We have some comparison for you between this year's numbers and last year's numbers. Second viewers, Dr. Tedros WHO head, World Health Organization chief, is now pulling no punches. He is tweeting on daily basis. He is accusing Ethiopian government of using starvation as a weapon of war. Just an hour ago, he shared a statement. Thirdly, viewers, protests have been carried out by some farmers in Amhara region. The protests were held in East Gojjam reportedly. Why are farmers protesting in East Gojjam? And lastly, we have a new story from Ethiopia-Sudan border. We do know that in the past months we have been receiving reports about Tigray fighters organizing on Sudan side of Sudan-Ethiopia border. At least one incident was reported in which Tigray fighters and Ethiopian forces clashed close to Sudan border. Now another similar incident is being reported that Tigray fighters and Ethiopian forces clashed on Sudan side of the Sudan-Ethiopia border. Firstly, let's have a look at the ongoing higher education entrance exam controversy. Amhara region has serious reservations against exam results. It has formed a committee which is in talks with Federal Examination Assessment Agency and with Federal Ministry of Education. Why did Amhara region students perform so poorly? 108,683 students from Amhara region, from 8 regions of Amhara appeared in this exam. 8 regions, North Gondar, South Gondar, North Wallo, South Wallo, East Gojjam, West Gojjam, then North Shore, and I think 8th one is Wag. So these 8 regions were the places from where 108,683 students appeared for this exam. How many got more than 350 marks? Because this exam has total 700 marks. You need to secure 350 plus marks to pass this exam. 19,985 students got more than 350 marks. Out of 108,000, only 19,000, around 20,000 secured more than 350 marks. So overall result percentage is 18.3%. What happened in previous years? Well, we have seen some numbers in 2016, 2017, 2018. Students of Amhara region, percentage of students who secured more than 350 marks was around 50 to 60%. It means that this year's results are linked to the war which happened in Amhara region. And North Gondar suffered most, 10% is the result there. South Gondar only 13%. We know that these areas, especially North Gondar, was the first region which was hit when Tigray forces entered the region in July last year. So definitely this poor performance is linked to war. Now my question is, why is Birhanu Nega, Ethiopian Federal Minister of Education, is evaluating Amhara region students at the same level at which he is trying to assess students of other regions? Other regions were not hit by this war. Schooling went on there, schooling continued there. But in North Gondar, South Gondar, in North Vollo, South Vollo, Waghimra, there were serious disruptions. Schools closed, destroyed. How can these Amhara students perform at the same level at which other region students are performing? So I think it's a failure of Brahman Lega's education ministry. He should have foreseen that it would happen, but he did not. So I would personally blame Federal Education Ministry, Federal Assessment Examination Conducting Committee, which did not take any measures before the conducting of this result. Students' futures must not be endangered. That is why the government, federal government, Education Ministry of Bahawanaga, they must make corrective decisions. Otherwise, it would lead to backlash. Amhara students' bodies, they are issuing statements. They'll definitely protest. And they want extension in the date for admissions to higher education institutions, because on the basis of these results, students start education, start studies at higher education institutions. So the date must be extended, and Amhara region students, they must be given some concessions. Secondly, Dr. Tedros, World Health Organization chief, a Tigrayan, worked with EPRDF government in the past. He is now pulling no punches. He is openly accusing Ethiopian government of starving the people of Tigray. We know that he has been supporting Tigray diplomatically by raising this issue of Tigray siege. But he implied things in his previous statements, tweets. He never came out openly against Ethiopian government. He used to share some news stories of journalists, tweets of other people to keep his impartiality. But now he is openly criticizing Ethiopian and Eritrean governments. Just an hour ago he tweeted, he said that Tigray is on the brink, on the verge of a humanitarian disaster. Ethiopian and Eritrean forces have sealed off Tigray, and starvation must not be used as a weapon of war. So he is accusing Ethiopian, Eritrean governments of using starvation, hunger as a weapon of war. We know that Ethiopian government launched a campaign, and it lodged a complaint against Dr. Tedros with executive board of WHO. But nothing happened against him. No inquiry was initiated against him. He is still there leading WHO, and he is tweeting against Ethiopian, Eritrean governments on a regular basis now. Now, I'm not saying that he is lying. I am not saying that. But what I'm saying is that he's not now keeping his neutrality. He is now openly supporting a Tigray government. Yes, I agree that Tigray is under siege. Yeah, that regional forces and federal forces, they are laying siege to Tigray. It should come to an end. Thirdly, viewers, protest has been reported in Amhara region. Place is East Gojjam zone where farmers, dozens of farmers protested, and they are accusing Prosperity Party of interfering in distribution of fertilizers. Farmers receive subsidized fertilizers in Amhara region, but these farmers are accusing that those farmers are receiving subsidized fertilizers who are friends, who are close relatives of Prosperity Party members. Other farmers are being ignored. Amhara Prosperity Party has already been under pressure. A financial scandal hit the party. Saga Airage disclosed about corruption by some party officials, embezzlement by some party officials. Now, locals, farmers are accusing party officials of interfering in distribution of subsidized fertilizers. It should not happen, viewers. Lastly, Ethiopia-Sudan border, where once again fighting was reported yesterday between Tigray fighters and Ethiopian government forces. The incident happened near Brecht. Brecht is a settlement on Sudan side of Sudan-Ethiopia border. There is presence of Ethiopian forces in Brecht. Ethiopian forces withdrew, they had to withdraw from several settlements in Sudan after Sudanese forces launched attacks on Sudan-Ethiopia border last year. But Brecht is reportedly still under Ethiopian control, what we have learned from some sources on the ground. And here, Tigray fighters reportedly tried to hit some Ethiopian forces there. Then exchange of fire happened. No further report about any casualties. It was a small confrontation. We can't say that Tigray forces are planning to launch a full-scale attack on Sudan side of the border, but it could happen. Preparations have been seen in the past. This fighting could be just a trailer. We saw a similar case of fighting a few weeks ago near Brecht as well. Once again near Brecht, this fighting is being reported. I think both sides are waiting a little for the outcome of negotiations. If negotiations fail, then we could see pressure from Sudan side of the border by Tigrayan fighters on Ethiopian forces. So far, the attack happened, exchange of fire happened, no news of any further escalation. Thanks for watching.